Good evening, friends. Myself, Dr. Nidhi Darbari, on My Education Treasure. In my previous video on teaching skill, I had explained about the meaning and characteristics. In my present video, I am going to explain about the types of teaching skills. The performance of the concerned activity is automatically improved through its learning and practice. How to teach is considered more important than what to teach. These skills can be defined, observed, measured, and controlled by means of practice. According to McCantre and White, teaching skills is a set of related teaching behaviors which is specified types of classroom interactional situation that tends to facilitate the achievement of specified education's objectives. NL Gage has described teaching skills are specific instructional activities and procedure that a teacher may use in the classroom. These are related to the various stages of teaching or in the continuous flow of teacher's performance. The Asian Institute of Teacher Education has described teaching skill as a group of behaviors which can be developed through practice and can be used in an equally efficient manner in situations other than those utilized for its practice. Types of teaching skills. For effective teaching, a teacher uses two types of skills: general teaching skills and specific teaching skills. The general teaching skills enable a teacher to help the teacher trainee in his mental, emotional, social, moral, and aesthetic development and to inculcate in him habits, attitudes, values which are essential for living in a secular democratic socialist society. These skills relate to good interpersonal relationship, better human understanding, and personal social guidance, which is to be provided to students by the teacher to make his teaching effective. They pertain to common classroom problems for every teacher teaching at different educational levels. The most important skill of teaching in this classification is the skill to plan day's program of teaching before going to school. For this purpose, a teacher arranges his thoughts on the lesson he has to teach during the day and prepares some useful audiovisual materials for teaching. The general teaching skills are to be developed at every cost by a teacher, as these skills are used at primary, secondary, and tertiary levels of teaching of any subject. Another important general teaching skill which a teacher needs is to develop a favorable climate for teaching learning. The process starts immediately after the teacher enters the classroom. If the teacher enters the classroom with a cheerful, smiling face and greets the student as he enters, the stage has been set for effective interaction. The rapport thus established will last for the whole period and facilitates the teacher's task. The teacher may allow the students a reasonable freedom to participate in the learning process by asking questions, expressing opinions, and reacting to the situations. The teacher will have to develop the skill of showing patience with the students when he is having some difficulty in understanding a point. If the teacher is able to keep the climate of the learning in the classroom favorable, his job will be easy, satisfying, and he will be able to teach more effectively. Another general teaching skill which a teacher needs to develop for effective handling of his lesson is class management skill. Class management skill basically requires sympathetic attitude towards students. A class is a formal group in which the teacher plays the role of a leader. His main job is to help the students to learn, and for this purpose it is necessary for him to control certain behaviors of the students which might be detrimental to learning. There are many strategies to be adopted by the teacher in a period of 30 to 40 minutes. The teacher has to notice the very throb of the student and advance on the right track, resulting in utmost satisfaction for the students. To make a teacher able to fruitfully utilize the time, he must be able to arrange and manage his class in such a way that possibilities of distraction are reduced to minimum and the students may keep themselves gainfully busy during the entire period. A teacher must keep in mind that students are not inanimate objects who can be manipulated in any way the teacher likes. The problem of indiscipline arises when the teacher is unable to understand the motives of students' behavior. Class management skill involves both an understanding of the motives of the student's behavior and the ability to deal intelligently with typical situations which might arise in the classroom. Specific teaching skills are related to specific type of refinement of teachers' behavior in dealing with classroom situations effectively. Specific teaching skills, that is, the secondary teaching skills, are required by the teacher to be mastered as per the requirement of the class situation, the nature of the content, and the nature of the subject to be taught. The teacher needs special skills to teach students at different levels of education: 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. There are two types of specific teaching skills: subject based and grade based. Subject based teaching skill, that is common to various subjects. With core teaching skills as its base, the teacher needs some specific teaching skills to teach subjects like language, maths, social science, or sciences. Every discipline demands special teaching skills to teach it effectively. The skill required for teaching Hindi as a language may not be appropriate for teaching science. Sometimes different topics demand special skills to teach. Map reading in geography, how to do experiments in chemistry laboratory, or how to prepare special dishes in home science. Grade-based teaching skills. Teaching skill that is common to teaching at a particular grade. The teacher who teaches both the lower and the upper grade students has to demonstrate and use different teaching skills. At the elementary school level, a teacher is in the classroom for the entire day and teaches all the subjects to a group of students. At the secondary and the senior secondary levels, the students study subjects that are taught by the teacher who specializes in them. The teacher of lower classes needs special skills for giving dictation, developing handwriting, narration, storytelling, recitation to teach language, social science, and science. The teacher needs skills to teach at different levels, that is, memory, understanding, and reflective levels. At the lower grades, the teacher gives more emphasis on memory level teaching. As the student proceeds to higher classes, the emphasis is shifted from memory level teaching to understanding and reflective level teaching. One might have seen that when the writing of Sant Tulsidas or Kabir Das are taught at the primary, secondary, or senior secondary or university level, the teaching is focused at different levels according to the objectives to be achieved. The teacher moves towards higher level of teaching after the students have learned and performed adequately at the lower level of understanding. If you found the video to be informative and interesting, I request you all to please give a like to the video to motivate me, share it with others, and subscribe it so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get a notification. Target group specific skills. Students differ widely in their rate of learning. But unfortunately, this remains today the most neglected aspect of learning in the classroom. The teacher tends to overlook individual differences in learning. Many teachers at times wish that the students who are unwilling or unable to learn at the rate set should be dropped from the school without seriously considering their problems. The teacher wants to bring home the idea that one should understand the individual in education. After all, education is a process through which every student is helped to develop higher potential and abilities to the greatest degree, with due regard for higher strength and limitations. Besides, knowledge of various handicaps and the teaching methods and materials appropriate for dealing with different types of handicaps, an effective teacher must have a positive attitude towards special students. Such a teacher believes in these students and their ability to learn and acquire skills. She makes all students feel that they are important members of the class. The teacher should help the students, whatever their disability, to function independently and as normally as possible. The concept of superiority or inferiority should be removed from students' mind, and this should be reflected in their classroom behavior. The teacher may often have to manage students with some learning disability, which refers to an inability to perform a task that is normally within the capability range of the students of a particular age, group, or grade. Learning disability often involves some gap in essential learning process related to perception, integration, or verbal expression. Take the example of handicapped students who have one or more of the following handicaps: learning disabled, speech impaired, mentally retarded, emotionally disturbed, hearing impaired, orthopedically handicapped, visually handicapped, and those with other health impairments. The handicapped students do not receive the kind of education that meet their need. With special teaching strategies and personal care, they can make a significant progress and learn through integrated or mainstream classes. Another example of the students for whom the teacher will need special teaching methods and material are gifted and talented students. The teacher will find that such students are more eager learners, often capable of mastering the subject with an ease than other students. They are intellectually curious and can be especially critical to the teacher who fails to stimulate and challenge them. The gifted students need various kinds of enriched educational tasks. To meet their educational needs, the teacher have to plan high-level teaching learning activities and self-directed or independent study. The teacher should encourage such students to study without constant supervision, threat, or reward of grade. The instructional tasks should be planned in a way that develop the skill of autonomous learning and satisfy their needs. For special educational plan, special assignments and activities should be planned for gifted students. Another disadvantaged group of students for whom the teacher again needs different teaching skills are the female students, who are often discriminated against in the classroom, and thus they enjoy minority status, and quite a few girls drop out of the school due to this. With patience and determination, the teacher can help the students with learning disability to require knowledge and skill despite their handicaps. Thank you very much for patiently watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe.